Mr. Anku Jain will talk about, MediaTek. Given that they have a lot of the technology underpinning AR and VR, what does he see as the future, the potentials, and the possibilities?
Thanks a lot. It's great to be here, and it's good to see a full house. Just after lunch. I don't know about virtual reality, but in real life, that's not easy. So it's good to see that. And my name is Anku Jain, and I'm the managing director of MediaTek in India. And we are a chip company, and we do provide the several technologies which are behind AR and VR. In terms of computing power in mobile phones and AI and 5G, etc. And all these are the other very key ingredients which are required to make AR, VR a very good experience, immersive experience for the end user. So in the last several years, I think we have seen, as we heard earlier, things like Pokemon Go has been a good success, but it did take a long time to get adopted. And then we have things like Snapchat filters, which are application of AR. And many companies have used that to monetize. For example, I think Taco Bell and certain, I think the movie Nun. I think these people have actually used Snapchat to kind of show their use case, and it has been a success for them. So there have been many ways to monetize AR and VR. And I think for application developer himself, there'll be a huge opportunity in the coming days. Right now, I think we are still definitely in the early days of AR, VR. I think the real success would happen when, as today we see every one of us, we wake up in the morning and, the mobile phone is the first thing we see, right? I think slowly and steadily, I think we will kind of venture into that kind of space. So like in, 90s, we had offline. And recently we have everything online, right? Similarly, we are moving from a 2D world to a 3D world. So that's a big change we see recently. And AR, VR is what is going to help us in that aspect. So if I feel, I've read somewhere that, our brain is more receptive to visual appeal. So I think, half of our neurons are more geared towards capturing visual information. So in that aspect, I think AR, VR will play a big role but still we are early days. We should be able to figure out some killer applications which will come up and try to make it more mass market. Right now, I feel it is more enterprise driven. So, you have things like education, healthcare, and so it's all more driven by corporates, right? And I think those are the, corporates are the people who have the money to have the devices available. And, the VR devices are still expensive. So that is still corporate driven. But I think in the later and sooner than later, it will also get adopted as a consumer driven thing. So once that happens, I think we'll see very explosive growth. I think we're just starting out. And AR, VR is going to take big leaps in the coming time. Especially as our friend mentioned earlier, with the 5G happening, with the very low latency and high speeds, that is also one very key ingredient. And that 5G is going to get deployed in India also in the next 1 to 2 years. And globally, it's getting deployed now. So I think that's also one key ingredient which will help us in seeing more AR and VR adoption.
I have this question that this technology is coming up very rapidly and everybody is ready to embrace it. But do we not feel that we have a retention issues of the customers and the clients? We do not have any ARs wherein customer are using in day out, and we do not have any such very long use cases that they are dependent on it. It is like if you say TikTok or if you say Pokemon Go, and for that example other things, these are some very time limited. People use it for their fun or entertainment, and then they just move on. So what do you guys have to comment on that?
Yeah, maybe I can, I'll just add some point to this. Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, it's early days, right? And right now, the basic ingredients are being put in place, right? Like the computing power, the visual quality, and the content. I think content is still to happen, right? So I think we have getting the basic layer of ingredients in place, right? And sooner than later, I think we will have more and more content which has a retention power. So right now, it's more for entertainment, as you mentioned, right? But definitely, there'll be a lot of innovation going to happen once we have 5G, etc., in place. And then there'll be a very compelling use case which we don't know right now. I think for sure, things take time. 10 years ago, none of us thought we will use Uber or Swiggy and so on, because at that time 4G was not there. So as soon as, when 4G happened, we did not really know what we'll do with all this speed. But in these 10 years, we have seen so much innovation, and now we cannot imagine without those apps. So similarly in AR, VR, I think it'll take some time, and we'll figure it out.